mid-air possessions, zombie apocalypse, and chilling rituals. These moments are going viral and nobody can explain them. So hold on for the most terrifying compilation you'll wish you never saw. In 2023, a man on a bus in China recorded something deeply unsettling. Sitting in front of him was another passenger, but it wasn't the man's face that stood out, it was his feet. The camera revealed skin with an odd, rough texture and long, sharp nails that looked nothing like human features. He tried to capture his face, but could not do so. People started giving logical explanations, with some calling it poor hygiene, but the witness insisted that what he saw looked inhuman. The brief clip left many wondering if he had stumbled onto someone hiding a far darker truth beneath human disguise. Real or staged? On a Toronto train, a girl was scrolling through her phone, seemingly unbothered by the world around her, but her appearance was anything but ordinary. Her skin looked unnaturally gray, her nose elongated, her ears sharp like an elf, and she had 2 small horns on her forehead. What unsettled viewers most was not her look, but how the other passengers around her acted as if nothing was strange. Some dismissed it as Halloween makeup or a mask, but others pointed out the unsettling realism of her features. The clip remained a mystery without any certain answers. Possessed passenger. Sometimes the strangest encounters happen miles above the ground, where escape isn't an option. On a 2025 flight from Florida, chaos erupted when a woman named Lisa suddenly climbed onto the seats. She was moving like something had taken control of her. Passengers watched in shock as she was constantly bothering them with her behavior. A fellow traveler finally restrained her, and the video cut off there. Later, staff confirmed she was taken to a medical facility, but those on board believed otherwise. Her unnatural movements convinced many that she was under the control of something otherworldly. What? We go all night. Strange behavior. Yes, I did! Yes, I did! On a late-night Mumbai train in 2024, commuters captured a disturbing sight. 2 young women sat side by side, their bodies jerking in strange, unnatural motions. One of them suddenly began moving her head up and down in a rapid, continuous rhythm, as if she had no control over herself. The passengers nearby didn't dare intervene, saying that this was no medical issue. They had seen this kind of thing before and called it a possession. Local rumors only deepened the fear, claiming that spirits often choose young girls as vessels, believing they are the easiest to control and manipulate. Train possession. This 2014 clip from Edmonton recently resurfaced on Reddit, reigniting old fears. It shows a woman sitting calmly on a train, scrolling through her belongings. Suddenly, she started making weird facial expressions as if something inside her was slipping out. Then she lunged toward the man beside her, causing chaos in the carriage. Witnesses later described her movements as unnatural, jerky, almost inhuman. Authorities called it a medical issue, but many viewers thought otherwise. The way her demeanor shifted in seconds looked like something darker was at play. Zombie encounter. What began as a normal train ride turned into something out of a nightmare in Nottingham, England, in 2024. A woman exited the station only to notice a man and a woman waiting by the door. Their faces were pale, eyes blank, with bodies stiff, watching her without blinking. A train passed between them, and for a moment she hoped it was her imagination, but when it cleared, they were still there. She could not make sense of whether they were actors, disturbed locals, or real-life zombies. Online viewers linked the sighting to other strange events happening worldwide, talking about an unseen outbreak. What do you guys think? Comment below. This viral video from China shook the internet. It showed passengers screaming as zombie-like men tried forcing their way into a train. The conductor stepped out, froze in horror, then rushed back inside as the figures clawed at the doors. Panic spread online, with claims of a zombie virus outbreak. But later, fact checks revealed the truth. It was a staged event called Train to Apocalypse in Jakarta, Indonesia, part of a horror experience in 2022. Now, it is possible that the strange zombie-like figures we saw earlier in Nottingham were also a part of this event. Could both events be dismissed as theatrics? Or are they staged covers for something real leaking through? Steaming head. At a football game in 2023, a 54-year-old woman named Tracy Monique went viral after a clip showed steam rising visibly from her head. In the chilly air, the sight looked bizarre, like she was releasing smoke from within. People sitting near called her an otherworldly entity, pointing to legends of spirits whose bodies give off vapor. But soon, the truth emerged that Tracy was dealing with menopause. The steam was the visible effect of hot flashes meeting cold weather.
When the flash starts flashing and the flash is flashing.
The explanation calmed many, yet the haunting sight of her steaming head lingered. Proof that sometimes even natural events can look supernatural when caught on camera. Sudden action. New York subway passengers witnessed the unexplainable in 2023. A homeless man sat quietly before suddenly folding his legs and lifting into the air. He was levitating above the floor without support. No wires, no hidden devices, just his body suspended in the air. Some passengers backed away in fear, while others stared in disbelief, unsure if they should record or run. In a city familiar with strange subway moments, this one stood apart. The levitation defied logic, leaving many to talk about hidden powers, occult practices, or even non-human abilities. For those watching, the memory became a mystery trapped beneath the city's tunnels. Creepy clown. In 2020, vlogger Chris was live streaming inside a California train when a clown appeared behind him. Far from cheerful, the clown had a sinister smile and began following him through the carriages. Chris bolted out onto the platform, yet the clown kept pursuing. Strangely, other passengers remained unfazed, casually watching without any reaction, as though under a spell. Viewers debated whether it was staged for content, but the eerie indifference of bystanders raised suspicions. Rumors of clowns hypnotizing or unsettling crowds resurfaced, fueling theories that this was more than a prank. It was a glimpse of how fear can be manipulated in plain sight. Stickman. The subway ride in New York became disturbing for these passengers when a man started acting strangely. He suddenly stood up with one stick in his hand and one tucked in his pants. He began striking the poles and seats as he walked through the train. The video showed passengers pulling away, watching carefully, unsure of what he would do next. Some said it was mental instability, but others pointed to the eerie calm on his face as he knew exactly what he was doing. They believed that it looked like someone carrying out instructions only he could hear. Spooky passenger. Back in 2017, Phuket Airport in Thailand, security footage showed a jet bridge extended into thin air, no plane attached, yet shadowy figures appeared inside, running quickly as if boarding an invisible aircraft. The recording spread online, with explanations ranging from camera reflections to simple misperceptions. But the bridge was empty. The shapes were clear, and no flights matched the scene. The sight seemed to be a residual haunting, a replay of passengers from long ago. Or it might be a dimensional sorrow of people boarding a flight that never existed in hours. The video ended with the empty passageway, if it had carried travelers from another world. Ghost Girl. This unsettling video was caught in November 2011. A group of friends in Japan was celebrating at a busy restaurant. Laughter filled the room until one of them noticed a woman sitting alone nearby. At first, she looked like just another guest, but the video captured her face, which was pale, still, and unnervingly sharp. She didn't eat, didn't move, just sat watching in silence. Then, hours later, they saw her again on a train platform. Later interviews revealed the group thought she was dressed strangely, but on film, she looked too vivid to be ignored. Headlines in Japan called it one of the most convincing ghost sightings ever. The woman seemed like a spirit living among us. Shapeshifter. This single CCTV snapshot from China sent chills across social media. The image showed a woman standing outside a lift at night, but her face was not normal. It was bizarre, distorted, almost as if caught mid-transformation. Her features did not match any human expression, giving the eerie impression of something trying to pass as one of us. No video exists of this unsettling image, but this single picture was enough to make people uneasy. Many believe the camera accidentally exposed a shapeshifter caught between forms. Whether it was a glitch, a trick of light, or something real, the photo left a disturbing thought that we do not know how many times we have walked past someone not entirely human. Swinging woman. Commuters in China witnessed an unbelievable scene in 2024. A Russian woman boarded a subway train, calmly attached her hair to a handrail, and began swinging from it like a pendulum. The footage showed her moving with unnatural ease, suspended only by her hair, as if testing some hidden strength or technique. Passengers stared in confusion, unsure if it was a performance, a breakdown, or something stranger. Honestly, it seemed like she was part of an extreme ritual or some occult practices linked to physical endurance. And the clip left people talking for days about defying logic in the middle of an ordinary train ride. Faceless passenger. It happened in Delhi in 2024 when he was doing his late-night rounds. The man saw a woman sitting with a cloth covering her head. He asked where she was going as the bus had reached its last stop, but she stayed silent. He asked again. This time, she slowly turned her head. There was no face under the cloth, only darkness. Terrified, the conductor ran out and never worked that route again. Later, he described her as a faceless churail, a ghost from India known to haunt lonely roads. Haunted bus stand. In Japan, a group of friends testing a local ghost story walked to a supposedly haunted bus stand at night. Their phones recorded a dark figure standing near an empty bus. It looked human, but didn't move. Not even a flicker. The group zoomed in, but the outline stayed the same. A perfect, solid shadow with no source. They panicked and fled. Locals later said the stand had been abandoned for years after a mysterious incident, and the shadow was believed to be the driver who passed away in that incident. Broadway mystery. This anonymous Instagram clip showed a man at Brooklyn's Broadway Junction. He was wearing a red cloth wrapped over his hands and face. He stood by the platform, moving his head and arms in a precise, symmetrical pattern. There was a group nearby that ignored him, thinking it was a prank. But station staff reviewing the footage later noticed something alarming. As the man moved, a passing train suddenly stopped without reason. No emergency brakes, no signals, just a stop. This clearly showed that the man wasn't a prankster, but performing a ritual, bending more than just his body. Screaming commuter. On a Nagoya to Tokyo train, a young traveler was sitting, listening to music. Everything seemed normal until she began screaming. Her facial expressions changed with eyes squeezed shut, as if fighting something inside her. Passengers watched nervously, but kept their distance, unsure if it was a medical emergency or something stranger. The clip went viral, with some saying the music triggered it, while others pointed to the way she seemed to wrestle with herself, as if an otherworldly presence was slipping through. For many, it felt like a glimpse of a struggle we weren't supposed to see. Creeping ritual. This 2024 clip showed a woman in white sitting in a train. A large cross hung around her neck, making her look like a nun. She rocked back and forth, whispering words no one could understand. Then, all of a sudden, she lunged toward the man recording, and the video cut off instantly. Viewers were split. Some believed it was a disturbed passenger, others said it was staged. But the way she recited her lines with such focus gave the impression of a ritual, not a performance. But with no other information, no one knows what happened next and who she was. Subway giant. Matthew, a tourist from the UK, filmed a bizarre moment on a New York subway. A towering man was seen carrying a saxophone. His body was hairy like a wild creature, his face painted in strange colors. Passengers didn't flinch, treating him as just another commuter, but the tourist was stunned. Later, staff told him about Sax Squatch, a viral performer known for his cryptid-like costume and live sax shows. But despite a logical explanation, the man swore that what he saw wasn't an act. For him, it felt less like entertainment and more like an encounter with a living urban myth. Odd man. 2022 brought this strange video from the Chicago subway that surfaced online. It showed a man pacing through the carriages, his arms swinging in the air, as though he was locked in a battle no one else could see. His head jerked sharply, reacting to invisible strikes, while uneasy passengers kept their distance, afraid that a glance or word might provoke him. The recording ends abruptly, giving no sign of what happened next. Later, friends of the man revealed a grim truth that he had once been a fighter, but after a brutal loss, his mind fractured.
Stop it! Stop it!
Now he wanders, believing he is forever trapped in a fight that never ends. Uncanny stranger.
What the Oh, what the Oh, what the
One night in Manhattan, a driver's dashcam caught something he never expected. On the roadside stood a lone man. He thought that someone needed help, and as he slowed the car, the camera glitched and the screen went black. After that day, the man was never seen again, but cops found his car on an abandoned road. When they reviewed his dashcam footage, it revealed a distorted figure with unnaturally white skin and a creepy face, almost featureless.
What is that? Do you see that right there? Do you see that? Who the
Now, we do not know whether the man vanished out of fear or the figure had abducted him. If you guys know anything about it, do share your thoughts in the comments below. Uber spook. In March 2025, an Uber driver unknowingly recorded one of his most unsettling rides. A woman stepped into the car and immediately began making odd gestures, twisting her face and hands as though following an unseen pattern. The driver dismissed it as nerves, but when he reviewed his car footage later, the motions looked far stranger synchronized, almost ritualistic. Her eyes flickered unnaturally at certain points, like she wasn't fully present. The man had no idea who she was, and the clip remained a chilling mystery. Bodiless apparition. In Chile, a late-night worker walking home across a bridge recorded something that looks like a nightmare. He turned on his phone's flash, thinking someone might need help. But what his light revealed was far worse. Only a pair of legs. Walking, no torso, no upper body at all. The clip ends there, with no sign of what happened next. Locals called it the bodiless apparition, linking it to old stories of spirits who lost their lives near bridges and wander in incomplete forms. Whether a trick of shadows or proof of something else, the footage remains one of the most disturbing encounters caught on camera. Terrifying sight. This traveler's phone captured a disturbing sight inside a crowded carriage. A woman stood perfectly still, staring straight ahead. When he zoomed in, her eyes were completely black, no whites, no pupils, and blinking slowly as she turned toward him. He posted the clip online, calling her a demon in disguise. Black-eyed beings have long been rumored in urban legends, said to appear briefly and vanish without explanation. Whether contact lenses, a trick of lighting, or something more sinister, the moment she locked eyes with the camera, the sight became unsettling. Sinister smile. Back in 2015, a joyful trip to an amusement park turned into something chilling. 3 friends were on a ride, laughing as the camera rolled. But in the middle of the spin, one girl's face shifted. Her features twisted unnaturally into a sinister smile. Nothing like her normal expression. The clip was brief, but the glimpse was enough to go viral online. Her distorted look resembled those reptilian theories. It might be a camera glitch, a trick of light, but conspiracy theorists were not convinced. They believed that the legends of hidden beings were not legends after all. Shadow passenger. A dashcam clip from Japan unsettled thousands online. An Uber driver picked up a routine passenger late at night. The door opened and shut as normal, but when he looked at his dashcam recording later, there was no one in the seat. Seconds later, a shadowy figure was sitting there, then faded again. He had been driving with something, but not a person. The footage was labeled the shadow passenger and led to old stories about spirits hitching rides to their final destination. But after that night, the man was so terrified that he never picked up any passengers late at night. Floating phantom. During his routine night rounds in a Chinese metro station, a guard stumbled upon something that froze him in place. Just ahead of him, a woman was floating silently above the platform. He rushed after her, but she drifted toward a solid wall with no exit and disappeared without a trace. Locals quickly recalled the story of a woman who spent years waiting on that platform for her lover to return. When he never came, she eventually passed away, but her spirit never left. Now she is said to wander the station endlessly, still waiting for the one who never arrived. Super Bowl curse. During Super Bowl 59 in 2025, with millions watching worldwide, cameras caught an unusual sight in the crowd. A woman sat quietly, holding a voodoo doll, pushing pins into it while whispering. Soon after, the Kansas City Chiefs began to lose against the Eagles, with star quarterback Patrick Mahomes playing far below his usual level. Sports analysts dismissed it as a coincidence, but online discussions called it the Super Bowl curse. The clip became a hot topic of discussion about voodoo rituals influencing the game. Whether prank or power, the timing was chilling. What do you say about it? Was the Chiefs' downfall just football or something darker at work? Comment below. Eerie ritual. In 2024, a strange clip surfaced from a public gathering. A group of nuns was seen standing in the center of the crowd, chanting in unison as if performing a ritual. Moments later, the camera showed a dark shadow darting between people. It was so fast that the human eye could barely notice it. Only the camera caught the figure, moving like smoke, before vanishing. Witnesses described feeling a sudden chill pass over them. The video spread with claims that the nuns had summoned something not of this world, and the fleeting figure left many convinced that rituals can open doors best left closed. Weird, man.
I gotta call the work. You wanna commit suicide?
A crowded subway station became the stage for a bizarre scene in September 2024. This man, frantic and upset, was sitting near the platform edge, demanding money from commuters and warning them to leap onto the tracks if ignored. His body was jerking with exaggerated motions, as if performing more than pleading. Locals recognized him. He had done this before, a scam artist thriving on fear. But first-time witnesses described his behavior as almost theatrical, bordering on possession. The way he shifted between desperation and eerie calm suggested something deeper. Was he simply manipulating crowds? Or had he slipped into a ritual of madness that no one wanted to confront? Mysterious encounter. In 2023, commuters waiting for their train witnessed a sight they couldn't explain. A woman calmly walked across the track to the other side. Her outline was shadowy, unclear, as if she wasn't fully there. Before anyone could react, she reached the far wall and disappeared straight through it. No hidden passage exists in that spot. She seemed to be one of those wall walkers seen in underground systems, spirits said to drift between places we can't follow. Couple rage.
Leave me alone. Dude, sit over here, man. Sit over here. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
A routine bus ride in Texas turned strange when a couple sitting together began to argue. At first, it looked like a normal lover's quarrel, but then the argument escalated and became worse. Passengers watched in awkward silence, unsure if it was real or staged. The clip ended with them still arguing in sync. It looked like they wanted to get the attention of the people because their argument did not have any solid reason. Whatever it was, the clip went viral online, giving them what they wanted. Strange woman. It was March 2023 when this man filming in China captured a woman whose walk was anything but ordinary. She walked down the street talking to herself, then suddenly began slapping her own face while continuing walking. Her behavior was not normal, and the man thought that she was dealing with stress or illness. But the way she carried on, seemingly unaware of her surroundings, made it feel like something else. The footage gave the sense of a person under the control of an unseen force, but no one was sure whether it was madness or something else. Pin right. CCTV footage from a public queue revealed something that unsettled many in 2021. A woman stood waiting when the elderly lady behind her pressed a pin into her shoulder. The girl turned slightly, sensing the touch, but the older woman quickly moved back as if nothing had happened. People nearby noticed nothing unusual, yet the camera caught the act clearly. It looked like a deliberate ritual, a hidden form of witchcraft carried out in plain sight. Whether it was harmless mischief or something darker, the calmness of the elderly woman suggested she knew exactly what she was doing. Shapeshifter in court. At a basketball game in 2023, slow-motion footage captured a moment that sent conspiracy forums buzzing. As players were struggling to get the ball, one man's arm seemed to stretch unnaturally far, longer than any normal human arm, to reach the ball. In real time, it looked normal, but the replay showed the eerie extension, almost bending the laws of physics. The clip led to those old beliefs that shapeshifters live among us, disguising themselves as ordinary people. Was it just a video distortion, or something far stranger? The game went on, but the clip left many convinced that not all athletes on the court were entirely human. Indonesian apparition. A street vendor filmed what seemed like an ordinary customer. It was a woman in white who came to her stall, long black hair covering most of her face. At first, the vendor didn't even look up, focusing only on preparing food. But the camera revealed what she missed. The customer's face was unnaturally dark. Her appearance matched every detail of the kuntilanak, a female spirit of Indonesia said to haunt women and children. Weird encounter. In 2024, filmed a chilling sight while riding a train. Across from him sat a girl in just a t-shirt, her skin unnaturally white, her eyes completely black. She blinked slowly, staring straight at him. Never speaking, Philip gestured to another passenger, but the girl stayed still. Some linked her to urban legends of black-eyed beings. Others suggested a lab experiment gone wrong. The footage gave no answers. Only the steady, unblinking gaze of someone who didn't look human at all. It was less like meeting a stranger and more like being studied. Chaotic flight.
They can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't give two but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not.
On a flight from Paris to New York, chaos broke out when a passenger claimed a shapeshifter was sitting next to her. She stood up, shouting, pointing at the empty seat as others tried to calm her. Luckily, a licensed attorney was on board who checked and found nothing unusual. Yet, the woman insisted.
But I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
When the plane landed, authorities escorted her away for investigation. The staff say it was stress. Others suspect a glitch in reality caught mid-flight. Either way, the moment left passengers wondering if she really saw something the rest didn't. Aliens on train. Passengers in California once recorded a bizarre sight. They saw two men sitting motionless on a train, but not any normal humans. They looked exactly like extraterrestrials had been frozen, stoned in place. Another clip soon surfaced from a Paris train, showing a green alien resembling a man clinging to a pole, moving strangely. Most brushed it off as costumed pranksters. Nothing more than performance. But still, a thought came to everyone. What if, just once, the costumes weren't costumes at all? Subway stalker. The New York City subway is no stranger to chaos, but this 2024 footage sent chills online. A man quietly sat near a woman as the train moved, watching her every move. When she tried to stand, he suddenly grabbed her hair, forcing her back down. Passengers gasped as he pushed her into a corner. The man recording later said the woman had no idea she was being stalked until that moment. The clip ended right there, and we do not know if the woman called the cops for help or not, but such incidents should be handled strictly and not be ignored easily. Roadside encounter. One man, stuck on the roadside waiting for a mechanic, filmed his surroundings out of boredom. As he panned his camera, his heart dropped. Near his car window stood a man with an unnerving smile, eyes locked on him. The stranger's expression didn't change as he slowly walked toward the back of the car. The man got scared and did not wait for the mechanic. He ran for his life. But later, police officers said that the man had done this before. He used to put on this mask to scare and rob people, but they finally caught and took him away. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.